Hello and welcome. My name's Derek, and I sell physical media on eBay. I make videos about that. This is a What Sold video. Not many. I think it's 198. Still stuff going out. And of course, it's true that you need to constantly be listing in order for that stuff that you just got to sell and show activity. And I haven't really done a whole lot of listing, but no, it's actually 193. I read that wrong. Well, I'll continue with the video. 168 in purchase price. So making a short video. D17. All right, it's Nick Jr. Favorites. International. Well, it's going international. 28. C47. Captain and Tennille. Captain and Tennille. CD. 16. D32. ECW. ECW Hardcore History DVD 15. D24 Centered Writing. It's strange because when I was listing yesterday, I just listed another writing DVD, horse riding DVD. Different woman. Forget the woman's name. Just listed that one, and then this one sold. $20. Get a book. Towpath. It has some local history. Very clean. It's signed by Margie Vaught. Towpath, which is currently, I mean, it could have a lot more meaning to it, but Towpath is a hiking trail that a lot of it goes through the Peninsula, Macedonia area down there. There's a place down there called the Virginia Kendall, which at one point had like some toboggan tubes in it. This would have been probably back in the 80s. But Massillon is just outside of Canton, which Canton and Massillon is what started the football rivalry, which then started what we now know as the NFL. So that is why the Football Hall of Fame is in Canton. Jim Brown. I don't know much about it, but it's kind of local enough to hear. So throughout the years, you kind of get that information. So it's Massillon and Canton, two smaller schools in this, in that area back then. Just always had a football rivalry, and it just kept getting more rivalrous. to continue a rivalry and to make it more and more. That's a word right there. Rivalrous. This. Ing. Lee. Okay. C50. The Carpenters. The Carpenters complete singles. Carpenters complete singles. $35. And the last of breed. Yeah, last of the breed. Oh, okay. Willie Nelson, Miller Haggard, and Ray Price. D38. Last of the breed. 15. So that came from 38. I mean, a couple of the other ones come from boxes with higher numbers than that. All those boxes are half empty. Because at one point they were all full. And I had to have all the shelves, all of them, completely full of boxes and double stacked. Now if I were to consolidate, I'll probably consolidate an entire 6 boxes down into maybe, and have one left in that shelf. So I'd be able to consolidate like 5 boxes down if I were to do that. Yeah, so that would probably be something to do with, saying that the sales are down and stuff. And when you have more stuff, it tends to do more. Now, the weather is breaking. I mean, aside of it being snowy outside now, and at 25. So yesterday at 8:30, so it's 21. So it's 4 degrees colder than it was yesterday. So -4 C, probably around there. I mean, 25 is probably minus, oh no, 25. 25 is like -4. -3. It's going to be between -3 and -4, doing the math. So it's got to be -5. We'll go with that. But it's tomorrow going to be like 50. And then another cold day someday next week, like 40 degrees. It's supposed to be that cold day. But I say in several videos, I really don't go out and about a whole lot if I don't have to. If it's really, really cold, I don't have to. There's always stuff here. So I stayed home yesterday and got disc media done. So that was done. There are some more CDs that were done that I put in my CD box that looks like this. A CD box that looks like this, but smaller. I filled that one up, and these are the DVDs I got yesterday. Got done yesterday. What was the total amount? There's 32. So I did the resurfacing. Yesterday went live for that. That is that will get released right before this gets released. In case anybody wants to watch that, it's like an hour and some change. I did that, got the listings done. Putzed around for a few minutes, and a little later on in the day, started getting some of the scrap, and I got my scrap drawer. Let me just get that. So I got my scrap. I'm not going to hold that like that. So I have, in this container, is mostly aluminum. You know, a gold thing here. These little circles are steel, but the rest is, I think it's a coated brass, and then the chain is gold. But little bits and pieces of aluminum that I think are, this is aluminum, 30 with a little bit of brass in it. Some other little bits and pieces of aluminum. I believe that this is brass. Because when I yeah, scratch at the surface. It kind of gives that brassy color underneath. But these are things that this kind of stuff most people just toss in like a dirty brass or something. But I don't know exactly, so I want to be able to learn a little. And then fuses are going to be brass. There's not much, but it's going to be a white brass. It's going to be a dirty brass or something. A little gold-plated circuit board. So these are those loose things. The tools I was using, and I just put this down on the table right in front of the couch. I can't do that too long. Can't do a lot of things too long because, I'm bending over. So these in here, this is way off to do with reselling, but my channel, my rules. So these on these breakers and stuff, that's silver, or it's a silver alloy, so there's at least silver in there. And I have plenty more. So there's not a whole lot. I have no idea. A quarter of a gram. And you get in there and you just pop that off, then you could just put that in not a cauldron, a kiln, or the burn where you melt these things. Melt metal. So you can melt that and get the slag, get the junk off, and then you have pure silver after that. Well, I have a handful of contacts, and then I have the backing plates for the MOSFETs. So it's either they're copper or they're aluminum or aluminum alloy. That's going to be a copper right here. So to some degree, those are worth kind of separating. And then the white brass and yellow brass. These are all mixed in this one. This is all yellow. And then some white brass, and I don't know if that's stainless steel or if that's brass. It's not magnetic, right? So I just put like the little bits of steel and stuff that I find in here, put that in this. Now I could just keep all that in there and it all just goes in as a mix. But again, this is stuff that I want to be able to learn. And then things like this that, I can't, if I can yank that off there, might be able to with a couple other tools I have now, but the rest of that's going to be dirty brass. But if you get more of the plastic off, so I could take, I don't know if there's anything in here, in this one, but I know that those are different pieces, and I at least see something. That's a solid piece of brass besides this top point, this top piece. And I am not sure on how. So it'll all be dirty brass, dirty yellow brass anyhow. So there's nothing else inside of that. This I could take apart. For how to get some of this apart and get clean brass, and the rest will be dirty brass. And then I have a whole bunch of these little things, just little bits and pieces. That the daylight got too dark, and it's not easy for me to really, without enough light, to see the difference of the copper brass colored as opposed to the silvery color. So I stopped doing that. But it's just what I was doing. Occupied time. Learned a little. And I believe that that's cast aluminum, painted cast aluminum. But I will head up to, the scrapyard whenever I go there, and I will learn a little more, and whatever else I come across and take apart. And there's still a few other things. Ultimately, what is all the effort and time? I'm kind of getting into something that has nothing to do with reselling still with this. But ultimately, what is the time and effort? It's not a big payout, but it would be zero if I didn't do anything with the time I was doing nothing with anyhow. So if you have time as a reseller, help the environment, help your pocket a little. Grab a few tools you may already have, and if it runs on batteries, or if it's solid metal, or if it plugs into the wall or something like that, chances are it's going to have components and stuff in it that's going to be a metal that's recyclable that eventually, when you go to cash it out, that'll pay for that time that you spent years prior, and metals only go up in value. A lot of them are not really quick, but gold, silver, and copper are going up, and some of the other intermediate, more and more precious metals. But this is stuff you're going to find all over the place. So that's going to wrap that one up. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Reselling wise, just keep listing. Recycling wise, take it apart and stash it, and learn along the way. I mean, nothing's wrong with me separating what I believe to be correct, and if the place who's going to buy it wants to teach me a little more on how to separate, I'm new at it. All right, tell me anything you're going up, comment down below, subscribe, share, those are all free. They help me help you, so we can help other people learn about physical media, eBay, and micro scrap. Appreciate it. Thank you.